Wake up. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice. You can either drag yourself through another day on autopilot, or you can take control of the narrative that runs through your mind. Because here's what most people don't realize. The first conversation you have every morning isn't with anyone else, it's with yourself. And that conversation, it sets the tone for everything that follows. So before you check your phone, before you dive into emails, before you let the world tell you who you need to be today, I want you to say 9 things to yourself. 9 declarations that will rewire your brain, shift your energy, and transform the way you show up in your life. Let's start with the first one. Look yourself in the mirror and say this: I am in control of my response to everything that happens today. Not your circumstances, not other people, not the traffic, not the weather, not your boss's mood. You are in control of how you respond. This is one of the most liberating truths you'll ever embrace. Life is going to throw curveballs. That's guaranteed. People will disappoint you. Plans will fall apart. Things won't go the way you expected. But your response? That's your power. That's where your freedom lives. When you remind yourself of this every morning, you stop being a victim. You stop giving away your power to external circumstances. You become the director of your own experience. Someone cuts you off in traffic? You choose peace instead of rage. A project gets delayed? You choose patience instead of panic. This doesn't mean you become passive, it means you become powerful, because reactive people are predictable. Responsive people are unstoppable. Now, the second thing. Tell yourself, I am worthy of everything I desire. Let that sink in. Not, I hope I'm worthy. Not, I'll be worthy when I achieve more. Right now, exactly as you are worthy. Worthiness isn't something you earn, it's something you claim. It's your birthright as a human being. But somewhere along the way, most of us picked up the belief that we need to prove ourselves, that we need to accomplish something significant before we deserve love, success, happiness, or respect. That's a lie, and it's a lie that will keep you small for your entire life if you let it. The truth is, you don't need to be more productive, more attractive, more educated, or more anything to be worthy of your dreams. You need to be more convinced of your worthiness. Because when you truly believe you deserve good things, you stop sabotaging yourself, you stop settling, you start making choices that honor your value. And the universe, it starts responding to that energy. Third thing, and this one's critical. Today, I will focus on progress, not perfection. Perfection is a trap. It's the enemy of momentum. It's the voice that tells you if you can't do something perfectly, you shouldn't do it at all. And that voice has killed more dreams than failure ever has. Progress is different. Progress is messy. Progress means showing up even when you don't feel ready. Progress means taking imperfect action, because imperfect action beats perfect inaction every single time. Think about it. Every person you admire, every success story you've heard, started with someone taking a messy first step. The first version of their business was flawed. The first draft of their book was terrible. The first time they tried, they probably failed. But they didn't wait for perfection. They committed to progress. And day by day, step by step, they built something extraordinary. That's what you're doing too. So give yourself permission to be a beginner. Permission to make mistakes. Permission to learn as you go. Because that's not just okay. That's how growth happens. The fourth declaration. I release what I cannot control. This is where freedom really begins. We waste so much energy trying to control things that were never ours to control in the first place. Other people's opinions, the past, the future, outcomes. We grip tightly to these things, and all it does is create stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. What if you just let go? What if you focused only on what you can actually control? Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your effort. When you release what you cannot control, you free up massive amounts of energy. Energy that you can now pour into what actually matters, into your goals, into your relationships, into becoming the person you're meant to be. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what was never yours to carry. It means you trust the process. You trust that even when things don't go according to your plan, they're unfolding exactly as they should. Fifth, I am capable of handling whatever comes my way. Think about everything you've already survived. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every moment when you thought you couldn't go on, but you did. You're still here. You're still standing. That's proof. Proof that you're more resilient than you give yourself credit for. Proof that you have what it takes. And whatever today brings, you can handle that too. This affirmation isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending everything's easy. It's about acknowledging your strength. It's about remembering that you've been forged in fire before and you came out stronger. When you start your day with this belief, you approach challenges differently. You don't run from them. You don't collapse under their weight. You face them with confidence, knowing that even if you don't have all the answers right now, you'll figure it out. Because you always do. Number 6, I choose to see opportunities, not obstacles. This is about perspective, and perspective is everything. Two people can face the exact same situation and have completely different experiences based solely on how they choose to see it. One person sees a closed door and gives up. Another sees a closed door and looks for a window, or builds their own door. The situation is the same. The perspective changes everything. When you train yourself to look for opportunities, your brain starts finding them. It's called the reticular activating system. Your brain filters reality based on what you tell it to look for. If you wake up expecting problems, you'll find them everywhere. If you wake up expecting opportunities, you'll discover them in places you never noticed before. That failure becomes feedback. That rejection becomes redirection. That setback becomes a setup for something better. It's not about being naive or ignoring reality. It's about choosing to see reality through a lens of possibility instead of limitation. The 7th thing to tell yourself every morning, I am grateful for what I have while I work for what I want. Gratitude and ambition aren't opposites. They're partners. You can be thankful for where you are and still hungry for more. In fact, that's the sweet spot. That's where real fulfillment lives. When you start your day with gratitude, you shift your energy from lack to abundance. You stop focusing on what's missing and start appreciating what's present. And paradoxically, that's when more good things start flowing into your life. But gratitude without ambition leads to complacency. Ambition without gratitude leads to emptiness. You need both. Be grateful for your health while you work to improve it. Be grateful for your income while you work to increase it. Be grateful for your relationships while you work to deepen them. This balance keeps you grounded and propelled forward at the same time. It keeps you present while you pursue your future. 8th, my past does not define my future. Listen carefully. You are not your mistakes. You are not your failures. You are not that thing you did 5 years ago that you're still ashamed of. You are not the label someone put on you. You are not the trauma you experienced. Those things happened, yes. They shaped you, yes, but they do not define you. You get to define you, and you get to redefine yourself every single day. Your past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. You can learn from it without living in it. Every morning is a chance to start fresh, to make different choices, to become a different version of yourself. The person you were yesterday doesn't have to be the person you are today. That's the beautiful thing about being human. We have the capacity for change, for growth, for transformation. So stop letting your history hold your future hostage. Forgive yourself. Learn the lesson. And move forward with intention. And finally, the ninth thing. This is the most important one. Today, I will show up as the person I'm becoming, not the person I've been. This is about living into your future self right now, not waiting until you achieve the goal, not waiting until you feel ready, not waiting until circumstances are perfect. You become that person now by acting as they would act, by thinking as they would think, by making choices as they would make them. Want to be confident? Start acting confidently today, even if you don't feel it yet. Want to be disciplined? Make disciplined choices today, even if they're small. Want to be successful? Start showing up with the energy and work ethic of a successful person today, even if the results aren't there yet. Because here's the secret. You don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. So become that person now and watch how your external reality starts to shift to match your internal transformation. These 9 declarations aren't just words. They're weapons. Weapons against doubt, fear, mediocrity, and everything else that tries to keep you small. Say them every morning, mean them, live them, and watch what happens. Watch how your days change, how your confidence grows, how opportunities appear, how your entire life begins to transform. You have everything you need already inside you. These affirmations just help you remember that. They help you tap into the power you've always had. So, tomorrow morning, before anything else, have that conversation with yourself. Make it count, because the way you start your day determines how you live your life. And you deserve to live an extraordinary one.